People who smile but feel empty. Not all smiles are joy. Some are survival. You see them everywhere. In photos filled with laughter, in conversations that seem effortless, in rooms where their presence feels warm, light, comforting. They smile easily, naturally, convincingly. So convincingly, no one ever stops to wonder what exists beneath it. Because when someone smiles often, we assume they are okay. When someone laughs, we assume they are happy. When someone appears strong, we assume they feel strong. But appearance is not experience, and expression is not always emotion. Some people smile not because they feel happiness, but because they have learned how to function without it. Some smiles are not expressions of joy. They are shields, protection, adaptation. A way to move through the world without being asked questions they don't have the energy to answer. Because explaining emptiness is exhausting, and pretending to be fine is often easier than explaining why you are not. They smile in photographs. The camera captures perfect moments, relaxed shoulders, bright eyes, confident posture. The image looks alive, vibrant, full of life. Others see the picture and think, they're doing great. They look so happy. I wish I felt like that. But a photograph freezes only a fraction of a second. It does not capture what happens when the camera lowers. It does not capture the silence that follows the moment. It does not capture the emotional drop when performance is no longer required. Because when the moment ends, the smile fades quietly. Not dramatically, not painfully, just gently. Like a light being switched off in an empty room. And what replaces it is not always sadness. Sometimes it is nothing. A blank stare, a quiet stillness, an emotional flatness that feels strangely familiar. Not heavy grief, not sharp pain, just absence. An internal quiet where feelings should live, but don't. This is what emptiness often feels like. Not chaos, not breakdown, not visible suffering, just disconnection. Disconnection from excitement, from joy, from meaning, from emotional intensity. Life continues, but the emotional color fades. They laugh with friends, and the laughter is real, at least on the surface. They respond at the right moments. They tell jokes. They participate. They play their role perfectly. No one notices the effort it takes to stay present, to stay engaged, to stay responsive. Because when laughter surrounds you, silence inside becomes easier to hide. Social energy can temporarily fill emotional space. Noise can distract from numbness. Connection can imitate meaning, even if it doesn't fully reach the heart. But eventually, the gathering ends. Everyone leaves. And then comes one of the quietest moments of all. The car ride home. No voices, no music loud enough to distract, no performance required. Just movement and stillness. Streetlights passing, reflections in the window, the soft hum of the engine. And in that quiet, the emotional emptiness returns. Heavier now, because distraction is gone. Sometimes they don't even know what they feel. Not sadness, not happiness, not anger. Just pressure in the chest. A vague heaviness that has no clear cause, but refuses to disappear. As if something important is missing, but impossible to name. Nighttime is often the hardest, because nighttime removes the world's noise. No responsibilities, no conversations, no expectations to perform happiness, just awareness. And awareness makes emptiness louder. They scroll endlessly on their phone, not searching for anything specific, just trying to stay mentally occupied. Video after video, image after image, information without meaning, entertainment without connection. Distraction becomes emotional survival, because stillness invites feeling, and feeling invites questions, and questions sometimes lead to places they are not ready to face. Why do I feel nothing? Why does everything feel distant? Why moments that should matter feel flat? So the scrolling continues,
Minutes turn into hours. The body grows tired, but the mind avoids silence. Eventually, sleep comes, and morning arrives. A new day, new responsibilities, new interactions, and something familiar returns. The smile, placed carefully back onto the face, like putting on clothing before leaving the house. Not fake, not forced, just practiced, automatic, because the world responds better to visible strength than invisible emptiness. Most people don't notice the difference between a joyful smile and a functional smile. A joyful smile comes from emotional fullness. A functional smile comes from emotional endurance. One expresses life, the other manages it. And over time, the functional smile becomes identity. People describe them as positive, resilient, strong, easygoing. But strength is not always the absence of struggle. Sometimes strength is the ability to continue, while feeling disconnected from everything that once made life feel meaningful. Emptiness does not always mean something is broken. Sometimes it means something was overwhelmed, overloaded, exhausted, for too long. Sometimes the mind protects itself by dimming emotional intensity, like lowering the volume when sound becomes unbearable. Numbness can be a defense, a pause, a survival response. But when emotional silence lasts too long, it no longer feels protective. It feels isolating. Because even in crowded rooms, emptiness creates distance. Even in laughter, something feels missing. Even in success, satisfaction feels incomplete. And the hardest part? Most people never notice, because the smile is convincing. The functioning is impressive. The outward life looks stable, so no one asks deeper questions. And sometimes, they don't ask themselves either, because recognizing emptiness means confronting it. And confronting it requires vulnerability, awareness, and courage. But beneath the routine, beneath the social rules, beneath the practiced smile, there is often a quiet hope. Not dramatic, not desperate, just gently. The hope to feel deeply again, to experience joy that is not performed, to connect without effort, to exist without emotional distance, to smile and actually feel the warmth behind it. Because even those who feel empty still carry the human capacity for meaning, still carry the possibility of reconnection, still carry the ability to feel when safety returns. The smile they show the world is not a lot. It is evidence of survival, evidence of endurance, evidence that even without emotional fullness, they continue to live, move, interact, try. And sometimes, survival is the quietest form of strength. So when you see someone who smiles often, laughs easily, seems endlessly okay, remember something simple and deeply human. Not all smiles are joy. Some are resilience. Some are protection. Some are silence. Some are survival. And behind some smiles is a heart patiently waiting to feel alive again.